Thank you for joining us today. My name is Sean Moss with Down Payment Resource. We also have with us in the background several members of our Down Payment Resource team, Tracy, Kathy, and Keith. They will be answering questions as we go. Please use the Zoom Q&A feature for questions. Chat gets really busy and it's hard to track actual questions in there. So if you'll use the Zoom Q&A for any questions, we'll track them there and answer them as we go, and leave some time at the end for Q&A as well. So today's topic is growing your first-time homebuyer business, how to increase your leads with Down Payment Connect, which is one of the tools we offer. Many of you already use it, have it for free through your MLS or subscribe to a paid version. We'll talk about how to acquire Down Payment Connect, but we're also talking more broadly about engaging with and educating consumers about down payment assistance programs and using the topic of down payment assistance to open the door to more and new conversations. So with that, we're going to get started here. Again, my name is Sean with Down Payment Resource, and Tracy, Kathy, and Keith are in the background answering your questions. We want to talk today about a few things, but let me first tell you about Down Payment Resource. We've been around for about 15 years to help our business partners connect homebuyers with the down payment help they need. We track and monitor all of the roughly 2,300 homebuyer assistance programs across the country, and we've created a number of tools like Down Payment Connect to help buyers match to available homebuyer assistance programs, or more importantly, to help you open the door to those homeownership programs for buyers who are considering buying a home, or they're on the fence about home ownership, or worse, they suffer from misperceptions about their ability to qualify for and purchase a home. Our vision is that anyone aspiring to home ownership will know that down payment help is available and they will know how to find it. To that last point, our technology is integrated into MLSs. Many of you are joining us and are members of our MLS partners. We're going to talk a little bit about how that works and how specifically you get Down Payment Connect for free if you are a member of one of our MLS partners. But you also, as members of our MLS partners, have down payment assistance data integrated into your property listing data so that it's super easy, super quick for you and your clients to figure out what's out there once they start looking at properties. But upstream from that, our Down Payment Connect tool, and again, more broadly, the topic of down payment assistance, helps real estate agents and loan officers connect buyers with the down payment assistance programs that are out there and available for them where they want to purchase a home. So again, ultimately, we are here to help you connect home buyers to the down payment help they need. Now, today, we want to start with the state of down payment assistance, what's going on with these programs, and the impact that they can have. We'll take a quick look at what we believe to be the first-time homebuyer market opportunity, and that is ever shifting, as you all know. Now we're seeing rates come back down recently after a year and a half or so of just constant rate increases. So we'll still kind of take stock of what the first-time homebuyer market opportunity looks like. But we also want to talk about educating buyers about down payment requirements and about the programs that are out there to help them meet those requirements. Most of this webinar today, though, is going to be about enhancing your marketing and expanding your reach, specifically with Down Payment Connect, and talking about down payment assistance solutions to reach more aspiring home buyers. And we're going to show you how to do that by showing you how your peers are doing that. So we're going to spend probably the latter half of this webinar looking at some really cool examples of Facebook, Instagram, email marketing, social ads, websites, and so forth, and how your peers all over the country, real estate agents and loan officers, are adjusting their marketing to address down payment obstacles, to educate about down payment solutions, and to inject the Down Payment Connect tool into their marketing exercises. So let's get started. What's going on with down payment assistance programs? Well, when we say down payment assistance or DPA, we're often actually talking about more than just tried and true down payment assistance. So to clarify, as of our last quarterly homeownership program index, which is about to be updated in the next week or two for Q4 of last year, we saw that of the almost 2,300 programs across the country, 74% of them are some form of down payment or closing cost help. And that's why when we say, or when you hear DPA, we're largely talking about those programs. But to be clear, and we have a completely separate webinar dedicated essentially to this slide and breaking down what all of this means. But just a quick refresher, of those nearly 2,300 programs across the country, and of those that are available in your respective markets, about 10% are affordable first mortgage programs, typically from your state housing finance agency, that can offer a number of benefits like below market interest rates, reduced mortgage insurance pricing, higher LTV financing, and more. 3% of these programs, and this is down a little bit, but are mortgage credit certificates or tax credits. Now, they're great programs where they are available, and we'll show you how to figure out where those are available or what's available in your market for your clients, for your borrowers. But those tax credits, where they are available, are awesome programs, good for a life of loan annual tax credit based on mortgage interest paid. And then 13% of all these programs are some other form of assistance, like a matched savings program, a housing choice voucher, and so forth. So there are a lot of different kinds of assistance out there, but when we say down payment assistance or DPA, just know that we're broadly talking about all of this, even though most of these are down payment assistance programs. One last point here, there are several different forms of down payment assistance. If we take that 74% and kind of break that down, there are deferred programs. Most DPAs are not grants, they are deferred loans. More than half of them are forgivable, and more than half are both forgivable and deferred. And then, yes, there are some grants, and there are some second mortgage DPAs that require repayment starting immediately. But keep all of that in mind. Again, we have an entirely separate webinar dedicated to literally breaking this slide down into all of its component parts, nuances, and so forth. But in addition to that, also remember that these programs are available everywhere. There are well over 2,200 programs, approaching 2,300 programs across the country. But every state has a state housing finance agency at a minimum. So there's at least one organization in every state that offers assistance to aspiring homebuyers statewide, with often surprisingly flexible income limits, purchase price limits, and more. But there are local nonprofits, community action agencies, housing authorities, and then, of course, municipalities, the cities and counties themselves, and many others that offer layers of local opportunities. And there are some programs that are available nationwide as well. So there are layers of assistance. There's literally no county in the country where there isn't some form of help available. And in most markets, there are layers of national, state, and local opportunities for down payment help, closing cost help, tax credits, affordable first mortgages, and more. Now, kind of wrapping up the state of down payment assistance, we've seen that demand for down payment assistance information and programs has been through the roof for several years, dating back, at this point, you could say 3-4 years, demand has just skyrocketed. Awareness has been going up. We partner with you guys, your MLSs, and listing portals and lenders and so forth to continue to raise awareness. And you and your peers are doing a great job of educating consumers about the fact that these programs are out there. There's a lot more work to be done, and we're going to cover that in just a moment. But we have also seen that the down payment assistance providers, the state housing finance agencies, the cities, the counties, the housing nonprofits, they all continue to enhance their programs or bring more programs to market that offer more assistance or higher income limits or higher purchase price limits, all of which is designed to keep the door open to more buyers, more aspiring buyers, to qualify more potential home buyers, and to keep up with rising prices and interest rates. Now, I just mentioned we also continue to see more programs launched in markets all over the country. In fact, every quarter we take a snapshot, that's our home ownership program index, of just what's out there, what's going on with these programs, most of which we're reporting to you here. But every quarter, going back more than 2 years, we have seen an increase in the number of homebuyer assistance programs available across the country. And 82% of them currently are funded, active, and available, accepting applications and reservations ready for your buyers. And that's a normal number. That number doesn't change, but within 1 or 2% quarter to quarter. So there is some seasonality to some programs, but there are many that are perpetually funded, and there are always plenty of active, funded, available home buyer assistance programs on the market at any given time. And by the way, we track all of this. You don't have to keep up with who's got money, who doesn't, what's available in your market, what's not. We do all that, and Down Payment Connect, as well as the rest of our platform, give you all that information at your fingertips so you can focus on marketing, education, communication, and engagement. All of this is to say, down payment assistance is still available and not going away. And as we all know, there is increasingly more attention on the down payment obstacle and solutions for that obstacle, which is, quite frankly, what our company is here to help you overcome and your clients. Now, let's move on to the first-time homebuyer opportunity. We hear all the time, first-time or aspiring first-time homebuyers, they want to stop renting. They don't want to renew their lease. There's enormous demand for home ownership among Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, millennials. So we hear all of that, but we also hear that coupled with messages like, I'm trying to save for a new home, but I don't think I qualify for a mortgage because I don't think I have a big enough down payment. Or worse yet, we hear people say things like, well, I don't have 20% down, so I can't buy a home. And again, we have other webinars breaking down these misperceptions and how to overcome them. But part of how we do that is to understand what buyers are looking for, what they know, and what they don't know. So let's dig into that for a moment. And then we're going to get into how you can access Down Payment Connect and how your peers are using it to fuel their marketing, to recharge their marketing, re-energize their marketing. So aspiring first-time home buyers, we know, as has always been the case, they're going to need help navigating the home buying process. They need to get pre-approved for a home loan. Most of you are not going to take them out looking for properties and certainly not going to be able to, much less want to sign a contract without a pre-approval letter in hand. But we also know that those aspiring home buyers, especially first-timers, they need help comparing and understanding mortgage options. They also, if they want to exercise or take advantage of a down payment assistance program, they're going to have to complete a homebuyer education class. That's the one thing that's sort of different when you're using down payment assistance. Most of those program providers do require that buyer complete a homebuyer education class. It's typically 6-8 hours of HUD certified homebuyer education required prior to close, often available online. And we are huge fans because those buyers, they come out of that class with a better understanding of the home buying journey, but also the home ownership obligations and how to plan for pitfalls and enjoy the successes of home ownership long term. We also know that, especially in the last few years, not only are aspiring first-time home buyers really in need of down payment assistance, as both rates and prices skyrocketed in the last couple of years, but they need help covering closing costs. And part of why they need that help is they need help navigating a competitive market with limited inventory where their offer is not going to win if it's not competitive. So we can use these down payment assistance programs to help cover closing costs as well. And that can set up a scenario where your buyers can make more competitive offers where they don't have to ask the seller to cover closing costs. So given all of that we know about aspiring home buyers, here's what aspiring home buyers know. Now, this is from a survey this is about 5 years old, but we think it is still very relevant today. And so we're going to cover this because, quite frankly, we all hear stories that regurgitate these same numbers, these same mantras, these same misperceptions among aspiring home buyers. So this was the result of a study by the Urban Institute in 2018 called Barriers to Accessing Home Ownership. Part of what they did as part of this broader project was interview or survey aspiring homebuyers who at the time were millennial renters. And they asked them several questions, and I want to share the answers to a few of these because they illustrate some points that we need to be thinking about over the next half hour as we look at marketing ideas that are aimed at first-time homebuyers. And really, let's not even limit that to first-time homebuyers, just aspiring buyers, whether or not they have owned in the past. But millennial renters at the time of this survey, when asked what was their biggest barrier to homeownership, 68% of them, two-thirds of them, said the down payment was their biggest barrier to homeownership. Has that really changed in 5 years? I don't think so. And I think we all hear that same story played out in, real estate news, lending news, mortgage news, and so forth, time and time and time again. When asked if those millennial renters or what they thought they had to have as a down payment, how much they had to have as a down payment, 65% of them thought they had to have a 15% or higher down payment in order to purchase a home. And then that sort of weaves in the 20% myth, right? There are so many aspiring buyers out there that hear stories like, oh, I have, if you don't have 20% down, you just can't buy a home, or it's not going to be affordable or whatever. Or they go to a property search and they see this really cool mortgage calculator with this great payment that looks affordable, but always the inherent assumed down payment is 20% in those calculators. So all of that fuels this notion that without 20% down, you can't buy a home. We all know that's flat out not true because we know that there are, to the next question, to the next point, low down payment mortgages. However, when those millennial renters were asked as part of this survey, are you familiar with low down payment mortgage programs? 3/4, 76% of them said they had little or no familiarity with low down payment programs. That means they didn't know that with FHA, you can go get a home for 3.5% down. They didn't know that with a Fannie or Freddie conventional loan, you can get a home for 3% down, 5% down. They didn't know that if you're a qualified veteran, you can buy a property with 0% down. They didn't know that if you're buying an eligible rural property, you can get a USDA mortgage or RD mortgage for 0% down. So all of this means there's a problem with the perception that aspiring buyers have about down payment requirements. And we can come to them with solutions, knowing that home buyers need help, agents need loan officers who do down payment assistance well, and loan officers need purchase volume. So, with all that in mind, how can we help connect buyers to these down payment assistance programs that can expedite their home ownership journey and that can help you fill your pipeline with active purchase transactions? I want to start with, here are our MLS partners. If you are a member of one of these MLSs, and by the way, we have a few more coming just in a matter of weeks, but if you're a member of one of these MLSs, you have Down Payment Connect for free. You as a member of these MLSs, you have access to our full suite of tools, including if I go back a screen here, this down payment button, this $ with the check mark. Look for that in your agent listing reports, whether it's single line, detail view, and so forth. When you're inside the MLS looking at properties, looking at listings, looking at properties you might want to share with a client, when you see this button, it means that that listing is eligible for some number of home buyer assistance programs. And all you have to do is click that button and we'll show you all those programs and details about them. That's inside the MLS. But from your MLS dashboard, whether you're on Matrix, Paragon, Flex, Connect MLS, go to your MLS dashboard and look for the down payment resource button. That will take you to your down payment resource dashboard. Now, before I move on, just take one more look here. In fact, I'll go through these. California Regional. If you're a member of any of these MLSs, you have the entire down payment resource suite of tools for free, including Down Payment Connect, which we're about to get into. California Regional, Stellar in Florida, Real MLS in Jacksonville, Florida, MLS PIN in the Northeast, HAR in Houston, FMLS in Atlanta, Central Virginia in Richmond, North Star in the Twin Cities, Spokane in Washington, Northwest MLS in Seattle, Washington, Real Comp out of Detroit, Greater Lansing out of Lansing, Michigan, Mybor out of Indianapolis, One Key in New York City and up the Hudson Valley, Austin Board of Realtors in Texas, Greater Alabama out of Birmingham, and San Antonio Board out of Texas. If you're a member of one of those MLSs, you have Down Payment Connect for free. How do you get it? Go to your dashboard. I took a couple of screenshots. It's going to look different for all of you. Some of you are on Matrix, some of you are on Flex, some of you are on Connect, some of you are on Paragon. Go to your MLS dashboard, find the down payment resource link. I took a couple of different examples here. Click on it, and it will take you to your down payment resource dashboard. On that dashboard, there will be waiting for you at the top of that page, your Down Payment Connect landing page. What is that? That is a landing page unique to you that you can put out to consumers in all of the ways we're about to show you and anything else you can come up with that allow the consumer to search for down payment assistance where they want to buy a home, see if there's help out there, and largely there will be, and connect back to you directly and only to you so that they can start and continue that conversation about home ownership. Now, the link on the screen here is my demo link for one MLS. Don't go use that. Go get your own. So again, go to your MLS dashboard, look for the down payment resource button, click on it. That takes you to your down payment resource dashboard. Your Down Payment Connect lead gen landing page URL will be waiting for you there. It is unique to you. Any leads generated from that page are unique to you. We'll come back to that in a moment. There are other resources here, marketing resources that open up graphics libraries, social media images, customizable flyers, video tutorials, a social media training module, and more. So right under your link, click on marketing resources, and you'll have access to all kinds of support resources to help you get started, get going, and keep moving. Now, just to recap, before we get into these examples of what your peers are doing, Down Payment Connect is a personalized lead generation landing page for agents or loan officers. There is no limit to the traffic you can drive to that page or the leads you can generate from that page. Loan officers, now we talked a bit about MLSs and their members having access to Down Payment Connect. We also have a loan officer version of the same tool that allows you to get the lead generation landing page, but also a directory of the details of all of the programs in your state or states where you're licensing Down Payment Connect, up to 4 of them. The ability to customize which programs display to borrowers, because as lenders, you've only got access to certain DPAs, right? So based on your company's product suite, you can customize what displays, and you also get an eligibility widget so you can search and compare programs yourself. Down Payment Connect allows all of you, agent or loan officer, to engage and educate new buyers. They complete a program search to see if there's help out there. In order to learn more, i.e., they generate a lead to you, they fill out a form that drives the lead to you and only you. That helps you tap into growth markets, new opportunities, run digital marketing campaigns, and you get the details of all the DPAs in your market. If you need to subscribe because you are not a member of one of our MLS partners, or if you are an originator, you can go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC. We will put back up that list of MLS partners at the end of the webinar, but Tracy, maybe we can post that URL in chat for those that want to subscribe to Down Payment Connect if they don't already have it or have it through their MLS. All right, now, one last bit of information about Down Payment Connect, and then we're going to start looking at what your peers are doing with this really cool tool. Just to clarify, you are not paying for leads. If you have the free version of Down Payment Connect, then good on you. You can go grab it from your MLS, put it out there in social, email, website, and so forth. You are generating your own leads using that tool. It is free for our MLS partners with a paid version available for loan officers or agents in other markets. But we're not providing you leads. We're not selling you leads. We're not promoting your website. It's your tool to go use, and the leads you generate are yours and yours alone. They are not sold off to anyone else. No one else is copied. They're yours. So there's the disclaimer. Now, how are your peers leveraging down payment assistance information, and how are they using the Down Payment Connect tool to engage with and educate and attract new buyers and new leads? This is the part we love. It's one of the most fun webinars that we do, at least in my opinion. Let's dive in. So we're going to move around the country. We're going to see agents. We're going to see loan officers. We're going to see people that are duly licensed. But let's start with Brian in Atlanta. This is his homepage. Now, I'm going to actually hop out of the slides and show you some of these live, or show you some other examples live, because we just can't capture everything on some of these pages in a screenshot. But this is a great example of how simple this can be. This is Brian's homepage. If you scroll below his bio, you see this section called Down Payment Assistance. He's got 3 sentences there with a call to action that says click here. He's also got the graphic out to the left of that. Down payment money is available. See if you're eligible. This tells anybody visiting his website, before they even navigate anywhere else, that Brian's an experienced realtor and he offers down payment assistance help. He's willing to help you with that conversation and point you down the path to assistance programs in your market, in his market. Great way to, simply inject this into your website, leverage graphic, a little bit of copy, but nothing complex, right? Here we have Susan. I apologize for the text wrapping. It says embed your link within your website. So Susan here embedded the Down Payment Connect page, and I'll show you how that works later, but there's a screenshot of it. But she embedded the Down Payment Connect search into a page on her website, simple iframe. You can have your website administrator help you with that. But that way, the consumer, the home buyer, never leaves her page, never leaves her website. And they scroll and they do the down payment search right there on that page. If they need her contact info or other resources, then they're still framed within her website. Here's an example of just simply adding down payment assistance to your website navigation. So here we have Angela. She has added across the top, you can see it's got a darker gray background, down payment assistance. In addition to all the other menu items on her website navigation, she offers a path to down payment assistance, and consumers can click that. And she actually iframed the Down Payment Connect page into her website as well. So you're actually not leaving her website, but she's if you go to the Down Payment Assistance page, she's offering you that search there. You complete the search, the consumer fills out the form, connects with Angela, and they're off to the races having that homeownership conversation. This is a team in Seattle. Now, there are a couple other examples like this where there's more content on the page than we can capture in a screenshot. We're going to look at some of that live. But under Advice for Buyers, this team has a page dedicated to down payment assistance. So you can see that in the navigation at the top. And on the page, and down the page, which you can't see here yet, there's educational content about down payment assistance programs. What are they? Who are they for? How are they repaid? So on and so forth, right? So they're weaving in educational content to help those buyers learn a little bit more about what these programs mean, sort of add legitimacy to the conversation, right? That no, it's not a gimmick. Here's what these programs look like. Here's how they're offered. And by the way, here's my Down Payment Connect page. Do a search and let's figure out what's out there for you. I'll get you connected with our lending partner and so on and so forth, right? That's kind of the dialogue that you would expect to come out of that consumer experience. So let's look at a few more examples. This is a team in Richmond, Virginia. They've got similarly a long form educational page about down payment assistance programs. We'll look at this one live so you can see what else is below that web page that we can't capture in a screenshot. So they start the page though with video, and we're going to look at a few more video ideas here. But the video, they produced it. It's their production. Doesn't have to be a Hollywood production, but they've got a video introduction to this educational page. And then as you scroll down the page, there's more and more educational content about these programs, how they work, who they're for, how to qualify, and so forth. And notice too, there's a form, like just a generic website contact form on the side of this page. But not every aspiring buyer thinks that they're ready to have that conversation. But when you educate them about down payment assistance, that can become a path through which they do connect to you, or a, a topic that incentivizes them or compels them to engage in dialogue with you. And that's the whole point of this Down Payment Connect tool, right? Literally to connect you and that buyer around the topic of down payment assistance. This is an example of a new client checklist. So we're switching gears a little bit here. This isn't maybe necessarily marketing. You've gotten the client, but this broker in Austin, Raul in Austin, Texas, at ReadyFront, he has this 3-step checklist that he gives to new clients. So my question for you is, what is the immediate homework that you give to a new client? Do you have a flyer, a folder with some materials? What are their takeaways? What are their immediate, what are you expecting them to do immediately for you in order to prepare for the next steps? In Raul's view, step 1 was find out what you can afford. Talk to a loan officer, broach the topic of cash to close and down payment assistance, then get pre-qualified, then come back to the agent and start finding a home within your qualified budget. So, what do you give to new clients? You've already done the marketing. They're already your client. You've had that initial conversation. This was a takeaway that one agent came up with to provide to new incoming clients to make sure that they're headed down the right path and getting the next critical steps done, including exploring down payment options, requirements, and assistance. Here is an idea for email. You could certainly use your Down Payment Connect link and certainly the topic of down payment assistance in email content or email marketing campaigns. Here's another example. As you see here, this loan officer in California added to his email signature this graphic that says down payment money is available. So it's under the contact info and picture and all that, right? Down payment money is available. See if you're eligible. Every email he sends, the recipient knows that Sal offers down payment assistance and can help get pre-qualified with those programs. So loan officers or agents, either, this can work for either of you. Add that to your email signature. We see this all the time. Probably not a day goes by where we don't get inquiries from somebody that has this button in their email signature and they're looking for better and more ways to use it. But then anyone who gets your email or forwards it along to someone else, they know that down payment help is out there, that you're savvy, and that you can assist them with that conversation. So add it to your email signature. Social media. So a couple things here. On the left, Marilyn in Indianapolis, she used Down Payment Connect to run ad campaigns and to do some interesting things on social media. And you can see her call to action there. Many first-time homebuyers qualify for down payment money. See if you qualify and let's get shopping for your new home. 2 sentences. Doesn't have to be much, right? We don't have to write an ebook. You're going to see some more examples of really good educational content. But sometimes we just want a quick hitting message to get that conversation started, or maybe to drive them to more educational content. But that's worked great for Maryland and Indianapolis. On the right side, this is Raul, actually, whose checklist we just looked at a minute ago. He also came out of the military into real estate, and while working with veterans, realized that he was getting a lot of the same questions over and over. So he came up with a 10-part Q&A drip campaign on social media. Could be an email campaign as well, but he drafted the top 10 questions he was getting from aspiring buyers and answers to those questions. And then he just turned it into a drip campaign. So new incoming clients would get his checklist, and then as they progress, they would start to get this drip campaign. Question number 6 of his 10-question series was, when researching home loans, what is the best approach to look for down payment and closing cost assistance? And then he gives them a link, offer them more content, and give them a link to your Down Payment Connect page, illustrating a path to assistance, showing them literally what's available in their market. So a couple more ideas, right? Instagram, here are 2 posts. Left side, loan officer, California. Couple of sentences, right? A little bit of dialogue. Are you looking to buy a home but worried that you don't have the down payment saved up? Click my link, run a search, let's talk. This is the gist of the message, right? And in Instagram, you can use something like Linktree to add your Down Payment Connect link in your bio. Right side, Bo in Florida. Love this. Click the link in my bio to connect to my down payment resource. See if you qualify. Stop second guessing yourself and don't leave money on the table. Love it. Great call to action and great way to use this on Instagram. Success stories. This is one of my favorites. There's a few things I want to point out here. One, blue bar across the top, Remax Results, Barker Hedges Group, Results Mortgage. Okay. This is the agent and agent team co-marketing with their mortgage partner. The crux of the story here, we've cut out the pictures, but tell other consumers what you just did for their peer. Tell other aspiring home buyers what you've just done for their now neighbor. In this case, Jasmine worked with this team, agent and LO team, got $12,000 toward the purchase of her first home and agreed to share pictures, share the story. The agent and loan officer, leveraged that on social media to tell that success story to other aspiring home buyers who are watching, who are listening, who are wondering if that path is something that they can pursue. We love the idea of telling those success stories. You're broadcasting your own expertise. You're elaborating on the availability of down payment assistance, and you're illustrating the impact it can have on the next aspiring homebuyer. All the while, you and your loan officer are doing it together, meaning there's the agent side and the financing side coming at this problem together, coming at the market together, and that instills confidence in aspiring buyers. All right, now, that same team in the Twin Cities, they also do a lot with video. Here are some examples. A couple things to point out here. They're all 1 minute. One's in the kitchen, one's in a hallway, one's in, I don't know, the corner of a room. They're all 1 minute, not Hollywood productions. They don't have to be, right? Just get the point out, get the message out. And the middle one, or the main one here, how to find a lender that offers down payment assistance. That's the same team that we just saw co-marketing and telling success stories with their lending partner. That's a great way to engage people. Just tell them, hey, look, I'm an agent, but I know exactly where you can go to get help. Here are my lending partners. Here's a quick video that's going to help describe all this to you. And then you can do a lot from there, right? Give them Down Payment Connect, give them your contact info and so forth. The idea is we're leveraging the topic of down payment assistance to promote conversation, to incentivize conversation. Okay, let's see. Now I want to actually hop out here. We're gonna look at a little more content in a minute, but I want to show you some of these examples live. Before I do that, let's look at, if you subscribe to Down Payment Connect, or if you have it for free, you'll have a Down Payment Connect dashboard. This looks a little different if you're a member of one of our MLS partners, but this is what you get if you subscribe as a loan officer. Here's my link, right? Now, again, this is a demo link. Don't go use this one. It's not going to come to you. This is mine, but you'll get your own. Copy the link, and you also see you've got marketing resources. So I'll take you to that real quick. We've got graphics. You've seen some of these already. We've got more graphics here. You're going to see even more of these. Take any of these and use them as you please. They're there for you. Customizable flyers in English and Spanish. You can open up any of these, pick the one you want. The bottom right quadrant, you can add your contact info, your Down Payment Connect link, whatever you want to add to those. And there's more. There's a private Facebook group. We're going to talk about that shortly. Links to reports, links to live webinars, links to video tutorials, and more. And again, all of that is from this marketing resources link. If you're a member of our MLS partners, you have that same link in your dashboard. Now, what I want to show you is how this page works. I want to show you the consumer experience. What is the consumer doing when you get them to Down Payment Connect? They're going to land on a page that looks like this. It will be unique to you. This is my made up demo page. Your info will be here. They do a search. They don't have to have an address. If they do, we'll map the property. But if they don't have an address, that's fine. Then let's type in a city or a county. Let's see. Is this set to, okay, I'm in California today. All right. So let's say we know we want to buy in LA, or we know we want to buy in Sacramento. I'll use that as an example because we're going to see a Sacramento website here in a second. There may be more or fewer programs in your market, depends on the market. If the buyer enters an estimated price, let's say $650, we'll account for that. There may be fewer programs because some of these have purchase price limits. If they enter a household size of 4 and they say they're making 97,000, maybe they exceed some of the income limits. We're going to continue to count up what's left. Maybe they currently own a home. As I've said already, these programs are not just for first-time home buyers. In Sacramento, there's still 19 options left in my search, based on my little demo mode here, for non-first-time home buyers. So you can go on down the list. If they're a veteran, there may be additional programs. There's 3 more. If they work in certain professions, you may have a teacher, a nurse, first responder, a hero program in your market. There's an additional one for teachers. When the consumer's ready, they go to get details. We're not going to show them, we're not going to show them the names or links or any other details about those programs. First, they're going to submit this contact form. Now we'll tell them, hey, there's 29 programs. Just so happens that an even 100,000 is the best available among those programs in this higher cost Sacramento market. But that could be 5, 10, 15, 27, 32,000, whatever it is in your market. The consumer fills out the contact form. They submit this page, and that is when the lead goes to you. It's emailed to you. And only once the consumer submits that form do we email that consumer with a list of the names of the programs they found, but no links to anybody except for you, your phone, your email. So that's the consumer experience. Let's run through a couple of live examples here. I'll show you a few more we haven't seen yet. This is a team in Florida. If I go to buy down payment assistance, that's going to take me to that agent's down payment assistance page, Brandy's page. Anything I do here goes to Brandy and only Brandy. Here we've got a mortgage broker, down payment assistance at the top of the page, right? If I click on that, guess where I go? I go to that down payment. Whoops, that link didn't work. But I go to that agent or that loan officer's down payment connect page. Here's just an even simpler, sort of like a splash page. So there's not even navigation here. This is a great landing page for maybe like a Facebook call to action or an Instagram call to action or a Facebook ad. But the idea here is just a simple splash page. Hey, click the link below. Down payment programs are out there. See what's there for you. Click the link, and we're off to the Levinson team's page, Terrence page. Here's another mortgage broker, loan options, down payment assistance. That's the page I'm on. If I scroll down this page, I've got a little bit of content, right? So see if you're eligible, click here, a couple more sentences, click here again, and there's a couple calls to action there. Again, just telling the buyer or aspiring buyer that down payment help is available. Here's a team in Sacramento. All kinds of information here dedicated to first-time home buyers. They've got this first-time home buyers club. They're trying to help first-time home buyers in Sacramento get into home ownership. At the top of their website, down payment tool in their navigation menu. Click on that, and we're off to, in this case, Keisha's down payment connect tool. Here is a mortgage broker. Where is this? Montana. Now, I love this because it's sort of like an FAQ style approach. There's a couple of sentences. I think this is actually a blog post. But there's a couple of sentences here just introducing down payment help. There's a graphic. That graphic, we're already linking to, in this case, Teresa's down payment connect page. But she goes on, asks a couple questions. And we've seen this kind of FAQ style approach, right? Ask and answer a few questions. What are DPAs? How do they work? Who qualifies? What are the benefits? And then again, down payment money's out there. Let's see if you're eligible. So our call to action, there's the button. And then we're off to, I'll go ahead and click it. I'm not going to click all of them, but we're off to that agent's down payment connect page. Now, here is one example we already looked at. This was the team in Richmond, and under Guide to Buying a Home, we go to Down Payment Assistance. This team has their video. They produced it. We do have some video content you can use too, though. But then we scroll down the page. I'll go a little slow here. What's the average assistance amount? How can we get into house faster? Here's a graphic, call to action, link to Ronnie's Down Payment Connect page. Who qualifies? There's another link in the text to the program search tool. That's their Down Payment Connect page. Family finances, first-time homebuyer status, profession. And then there's another graphic link to Down Payment Connect. And we go on, price, geography, and so forth. Great page, lots of educational content. And anyone who comes here is going to learn a good bit more about these programs and multiple times be offered a path to do that search for help. I want to show you one last example, and then we'll get into Q&A with a few follow-up items. Here's an example of a video. This is an agent, I can't remember where, Twin Cities, and she's got about a 9-minute video all about down payment assistance knowledge. And then in the description, she's also got a link to her Down Payment Connect page. Another great approach, right? Instead of a kind of a 1-minute quick hitting video, this is more of an explanatory, educational, engaging video with more content. And it comes with a link to her Down Payment Connect page. Great approach, love it. Now back to kind of the wrap up here. So we've seen tons of examples of how your peers all over the country are using Down Payment Connect, are talking about down payment assistance, and are leveraging all of that to engage more buyers in conversation, to illustrate a path to home ownership via down payment assistance. So without going back through the entire list, there are tons of ways to start more conversations. Use it in your email signature. We didn't talk about this, but market properties that are eligible for down payment assistance and explain that to consumers. When you're sending a new client some listings, tell them, hey, by the way, check that down payment button. There's some really cool down payment programs here that you should try. But we looked at Facebook, Instagram, educational content for your website, add a new section on your website for first-time homebuyers, leverage video. Outside of all these, host homebuyer events, do lunch and learns or virtual homebuyer events. Engage with real estate agents, engage with your lender partners, lenders. Get out there and tell realtors that you offer these programs. To that point, leverage the experts. So agents, we know that you're looking for lenders in your market that participate with these programs and really that meet 3 criteria. They offer DPA, they are good at DPA, and they want your first-time homebuyer business. They want to carve out a first-time homebuyer or DPA strategy with you. Develop partnerships with those lenders. There are plenty of ways to find them, and we can cover that in Q&A if that question's coming up. Also, work with the DPA providers. They may have marketing content, networking opportunities, educational or teaching opportunities. So leverage the DPA providers, get to know them. Those relationships will be valuable for you going forward. Highlight information about local down payment programs in your marketing content. So agents, talk about the local DPA on Facebook. Hey guys, did you know this such and such program offers $12,000 in down payment help, and you can also use it for closing costs. Give me a call. Let's talk. I want to get you out there shopping for a home. And lastly, we would recommend attend a home buyer education class with one of your clients. You'll see what the content is, or what the messaging is that your clients are hearing, and maybe you glean some new ideas from that you can weave into your own marketing. I mentioned earlier we have a Facebook group. Tracy, if you don't mind, can we put the URL in chat? And guys, if you want, there are almost 12,000 down payment insiders in this group on Facebook. It's kind of hosted and curated by our marketing department, but that's almost 12,000 real estate agents, loan officers, even some DPA providers, counselors, and so forth that all kind of coalesce in this group to share stories and best practices about working with first-time home buyers, working with down payment assistance programs. And there is a ton of networking happening in this group. So if you're an agent and you're looking for loan officers that are good at DPA and want to partner with you, join the Down Payment Insiders. The link is in chat now. Thank you, Tracy. Join this group, put the word out there. Probably the most frequent occurrence in this group is an agent and a loan officer connecting. There's a lot of best practices being shared, a lot of people sharing stories about, obstacles and hiccups and blockers that they faced along the way and how they overcame them, marketing ideas, marketing best practices, and what worked for them on what medium. But there is a massive amount of networking happening in this group, and we encourage you to join this group and do the same. All right, now Here's that list of MLS partners. Remember, you already have Down Payment Connect for free if you are a member of one of these MLSs. In order to access Down Payment Resource and Down Payment Connect, go to your MLS dashboard, find the Down Payment Resource button, click on it. That takes you to your Down Payment Resource dashboard. And recall that your Down Payment Connect URL or landing page, that link will be waiting for you at the top of your Down Payment Resource dashboard. So if you're a member of one of these MLSs, please don't pay for Down Payment Connect. You already have it for free. If you are not a member of one of those MLSs, you can also go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC, and maybe we can put that in the chat one more time. If you're a loan officer, if you're a real estate agent and not a member of one of those MLSs, you can go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC, as in Down Payment Connect, and subscribe to an agent or a loan officer version of Down Payment Connect. All right, so with that, I see Q&A has been super busy. I haven't tried to follow chat while we're live here, but whoops, I'm going to leave our, we got a little wrapping here. I'm going to leave our contact information up on the screen here. And Tracy, Keith, Kathy, any trends that we need to address first in Q&A? Any repeated questions?
Hey, Sean. Um, First of all, you are correct. We have had a very busy audience with lots of questions, which has been fantastic. We do still have some that we're answering in Q&A. So if we haven't answered you yet, we're still working on it back here. There is the first thing that I want to note is we always get asked this and we've been saying it, but I want to remind everyone that we are recording this. If you signed up for this webinar, you're going to get an email likely by end of day tomorrow. That will be the recording, and it will also include the slide deck so that you can watch it at your leisure and take notes and all of that, and review it. So you will have that coming your way. As far as trends with questions, we're definitely getting a lot about how to find lenders. And I know you just went into all of the networking details and our Facebook page and all that. Make use of that. If you don't have a list of lenders that you work with and are familiar with down payment assistance, there are several out there. We've been seeing lots in chat that are offering help today as well. So do that. But two things that I thought that might be kind of good to touch on again a little bit is one, how are properties qualified for down payment assistance? If we can touch on what's required for those and those steps. I've answered that a little bit, but also the next steps as an agent. When you get that email that says, you have somebody that filled out your eligibility search, and these are the results that they have come up with for down payment assistance programs that might be available. What are your suggestions on best next steps for that?
Yeah, so for the first question, how are properties qualified? I'll keep it simple. When we connect to an MLS, we're looking at location, we're looking at list price, and we're looking at property type and listing status. We don't know if there's a hole in the roof or missing appliances, but we're looking at the data that we do have, and we're comparing that against the programs available in that market, the maximum purchase prices they enforce if they do, and where those programs are available geographically within the city, within the county, statewide, and so forth. We do all that work for you. It's all automated. There's no listing input field if you're a member of one of our MLS partners. So just look for the button on your listing, that down payment button, and click it, and we'll tell you what programs are there. As for next steps for an agent, the most obvious and most important is get that client to one of your trusted loan officer partners. I'm seeing some of that networking in chat. Guys, we can't really reproduce chat in a meaningful way. So we encourage you to go to Down Payment Insiders on Facebook and do some of that networking there. So if you're a loan officer and you want to connect with real estate agents and let them know that you are a DPA expert in their market, join Down Payment Insiders. That's where a lot of that networking is happening. But agents, find those loan officers. I'll give you a few ways. Down Payment Insiders on Facebook. That's the obvious number one way. Number two, talk to your broker. See if they have a recommendation. Talk to your peers. See if they work with loan officers locally that are good at down payment assistance and offer a lot of these programs. Talk to the program providers. Ask them who submits the best and the most applications for your DPA in our market. I'd like to connect with them and learn more. A lot of your DPA providers, especially your state housing finance agencies, many of them publish a list of top producing loan officers for their programs. That's a great place to start, and they usually put their contact information on the state housing finance agency website. And to wrap all that together, we give you all of this information in down payment resource. So if you're in your MLS and you click a down payment button, then we'll show you all the programs. And as soon as you open up the details of a program, the very first thing we give you is a link to that program provider's list of participating lenders. So, and also when you get a lead from Down Payment Connect, you'll see the list of programs and links to some details that the consumer won't see. But when you open up a program from your Down Payment Connect lead, you'll also see who the participating lenders are for each given program. So those are several different ways to find lenders, but that's the obvious next step. Incoming client, have a conversation, go get them pre-qualified through one of your partners, and get them ready to come back out with you and sign a contract. We got a few more minutes here. So Tracy, Keith, Kathy, anything else you want to cover?
Nothing here, Sean. I just would like to say, great questions in the Q&A. Appreciate everybody's participation today.
Good deal. All right. So I see we've got a few outstanding. I've seen this question in chat and Q&A. So there's a question about so the link collects leads and we just have to connect it to the CRM. I just want to be clear that with Down Payment Connect, in a way it's collecting leads, but we're not sending you leads. We're not doing any like search engine optimization or marketing your page for you. The page is there for you to do that. So you can add it to Facebook, you can post about it, you can add it to a part of your website, do any of the things you've seen on this webinar. When the leads come to you, they will come via email. We are working on CRM integrations, and that'll be forthcoming pretty soon. We did a lot of the legwork last year, and we're kind of connecting to the first few CRMs now. That will be coming soon. But maybe your CRM has like a email parsing feature. That's something you could ask your CRM provider about. And we're open to connecting with your CRM provider and getting some documentation on how we might post leads. But just to be clear, the leads will come to you via email. That's sort of standard current functionality. We're looking to expand on that in the near future, though. I've seen a couple programs about I-10 borrowers. There aren't a lot out there. Generally, you have to be a citizen or certain levels of citizenship to access down payment assistance. But as always, talk to your loan officer and talk to the DPA provider. There may be some exceptions in some markets that allow I-10 borrowers. I also see some people saying, well, I clicked on the button in my MLS. That's great. We've already got some people off in their MLS taking a look as we go here. We love that. But they're asking, well, which one's best for the borrower? That depends. Guys, there are all kinds of different down payment assistance programs. As we saw early on, they can be deferred, forgivable, they can be grants, they can be repayable. There might be other kinds of home buyer assistance in your market. Some programs may cover closing costs or prepaids. Some may allow for buy downs of the interest rate. There are all kinds of different programs. What's best for your borrower is between you, your client, and that loan officer, and what their scenario looks like. So there's no one best program. There are a lot of different ways to rank that. It really comes down to what's available and what does your borrower need. So let's see. We're getting a lot of questions, guys, and we're at 2:00. So let's do this. If you still have questions and we didn't get to it, we apologize. But to be cognizant of everyone's time, we're actually past the hour. Our contact information is on the screen. If you need further assistance, just email us. And myself, Tracy, we get these emails through info@downpaymentresource.com. Email us there. I'll leave that on the screen for just a moment. While I thank everyone for joining today, we hope this was helpful. We hope you learned a lot. We hope you got some creative ideas for how to engage with and educate more new buyers. And we hope you take some of these ideas and run with them on your website, Facebook, Instagram, email marketing, email signature, new client intake material, video. Run with it. Have fun with this and go engage and educate more buyers. And again, if you need further assistance, reach out to us after the webinar at info@downpaymentresource.com. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.